Good morning, Geeks and Gamers. Welcome in. We're back. You guys said that we downgraded yesterday. You said, like, Jeremy, you can't downgrade like that and have some random unknown YouTuber filling in for you on Mondays. We need you back. So I apologize for the downgrade yesterday, but I'm back and I've got Ryan here with me. What's up, Ryan?
Yeah, that was definitely the feedback we received, that it was just such a worse show without you here.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what everyone said.
But
we did have to make some adjustments to like the trailer reaction, right? Because like, listen, it's one thing to put me and Jeremy on there when it's like Beardo or Epic Mike or something reacting to a trailer. Gary's one of the people reacting to the trailer. We gotta slap his face right on there. So we changed that thumbnail around. All of a sudden, views started shooting up. I don't know what happened.
We might should just put Gary in the thumbnail regardless if he's here for the reactions now. I mean, why not?
That's what Jeremy's new YouTube strategy was. For a month and a half straight, it was just the same him like this.
Yeah, and then I ran that in the ground.
To put Gary's face in there on the side.
Yeah, I ran that one into the ground, so now it's time to shift focus, but I'm sure we'll work something out. Tend to always work something out around here in these parts, but hope everybody's doing great. Gary's DEI replacement, great. But yes, it is a Tuesday. It is a Tuesday, and there is a lot to talk about in the world of entertainment. Guess what is not doing well? Star Wars is not doing well. I see a lot of people talking about the Sonic trailer. I guess we can react to that a little bit later, the Sonic 3 trailer. So, but yeah, Star Wars not doing well. It's almost like when you're focusing on putting diversity characters in your game, that is a major red flag from the beginning. And yeah, Star Wars Outlaws is getting absolutely wrecked. Star Wars is having a real bad run. But the good news is, for all of you massive Star Wars fans, don't worry, Kathleen Kennedy's not going anywhere, okay? No matter what your favorite YouTube channel may have told you, no matter what all of those sources were saying, she ain't going nowhere no time soon, Ryan.
Bro, it's hard to remember that we're like 3 years removed from that bullshit.
Yeah.
Like 3 years removed from it, you know, every week, oh, it's about to happen. At Celebration, they're going to announce that she's gone, and you know, all of these different things. And oh, by the way, 3-year contract extension. Well, now we finally are very close to the end of that contract extension for Kathleen Kennedy. And reports are she's still going to hang around for a while. At some point, she will leave, okay? At some point, this woman is 70+ years old. She's fucking old. She's been at this same position for 12 years. Eventually, she's going to want to kind of mosey out the door. But, you know, it doesn't sound like it's going to be in the next couple months, at least.
No time soon, apparently. And I know a Nintendo Direct just happened. It was an indie showcase. I'm going to check that out. I don't know if Chris is going to do something for Play. She was talking about that. But indie showcases typically aren't anything great. They're fine. But I don't know what happened at the Nintendo Direct, but we will be I will check that out and see.
I can't believe I missed that. Usually I have Nintendo's YouTube channel on notifications. I'm usually constantly all over that because I just love Nintendo Directs.
He's a huge fan. This one, shockingly. He's a huge fan of Nintendo. Mad Max for 50 says, Jeremy, can you please send a shout out to my sister Lisa? She had to say her last goodbye to 2 dogs. She's a big fan of yours and your shoes. Thanks, my shoes. And I know you mentioned this last night on CobraCast as well. So obviously, dogs are family, you know, and it's really, really sad. So nothing but love to your sister and the loss of 2 dogs. I mentioned this last night. I've mentioned this on many times, but I can't watch sad dog movies. I can't do it. I'm not built for that life. What about you, Ryan? You're a pretty stone cold emotionless person. How do you fare with sad dog movies?
Yeah, I mean, seeing dogs like get hurt sucks. It's like the worst.
It's the worst. It's the worst. Like, I can't watch them. Like Marley and Me, I've never watched that one. There's another one that's kind of like not. Obviously like Old Yeller and all that, but like there's another one that's. It had Richard Gere in it that I refuse to watch. Chat will know. Chat will know. But something is a movie with Richard Gere about a dog. It's based on a novel.
Gerbils got hurt in that one too.
If you know that story. So That was going around when I was in school, man. I'm like, wait, what?
20-year-old joke that we used to tell.
I know.
Right.
Hachi, is that it? Yeah, Hachi, if that's how you pronounce it. Hachi. Yes, I refuse to watch that one as well. Won't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. Sports fans know that reference right there. Even Homeward Bound. Even Homeward Bound is tough for me to watch, and that's not necessarily a sad, dog movie. I actually love
Well, there is a sad part to it, right? Like,
yeah.
At the end, when you think the Shadow's dead, that's like the most heartbreaking thing imaginable.
Mm-hmm.
He's too old. He just couldn't make it.
Yeah. I freaking love that. That's it. Dude, I love Homeward Bound so much. Homeward Bound is so great. But yes, thank you again, Mad Max, for the super chat, and also again, condolences to your sister for the loss of 2 dogs. That is that's rough, man. That's rough. I totally understand. They're in a better place now. In a better place. Yeah, sorry for the spoilers.
Condolences to your sister for being a fan of Jeremy.
Yeah, that's true.
That's also rough.
Major condolences there. That's a big time. Yeah, please, Ryan, can you put a spoiler warning up next time you want to spoil Homeward Bound? Please. I mean, have a little respect for the audience around here.
Listen, if you cocksuckers haven't watched it yet, you weren't gonna watch it. It's also based on a book written in like 1960, so go fuck yourself. Homeward Bound 2, have you seen that one? Lost in San Francisco.
Lost in San Francisco. I didn't watch that one. I didn't.
Not as good,
I didn't want to. What's the deal with The Incredible Journey? Is that like the same fucking movie, or is it like the same premise with different animals? I've never seen it.
That was the book that it was based off of, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's like The Incredible Journey, and it's got the same type of like animals, but like I don't know. Like I don't know what The Incredible.
I think Homeward Bound is based off the book The Incredible Journey. So I don't know if there's another film adaptation or something. Now I gotta fucking look it up.
Yeah, no, there's apparently it's the original movie is what The Incredible Journey is, but I've never
Homeward
seen
Bound,
that
The
one.
Incredible Journey is actually the full title of the thing. Let's see.
But The Incredible, there's 2 different versions of the movie, if I'm not mistaken, live action.
I don't know.
Jeremy cried during Air Bud.
1963 is the original film, which was based on the book.
And the Homeward Bound is like the updated.
Yeah,
They updated it for modern audiences. That's the modern audiences update, Homeward Bound. So
pretty much, yeah. They're like, hey, we need a cat too or something.
The difference is modern audiences weren't bitches back then, so that was your modern audiences update. So
I really wonder how many dogs died making that thing. Like,
Air Bud.
Well, it is true, Air Bud. I wonder how many nose injuries Air Bud got from just bashing that fucking basketball all day long.
The Shaggy Dog with Tim Allen, Robert Downey Jr.'s breakout role, as a matter of fact. That really relaunched his career. And I bet you didn't know that, Ryan.
Who? Say what?
Robert Downey Jr. He was in The Shaggy Dog with Tim Allen. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
I didn't remember that. I do remember that movie. I didn't remember Robert Downey Jr. in it.
Yeah, like it totally like launched his career and made him into this megastar. Not a lot of people know that. Like, man, how did Robert Downey Jr. just revitalize his career? The Shaggy Dog. What are you talking about? Come on. But all right, that's enough movies discussions about dogs and movies that we actually like. We got to get back to negativity around here.
Yeah, Chelsea M becomes a channel member. Thank you, Chelsea. Shadow Saiyan for 10. So that Sonic 3 trailer, huh? Well, I'm hyped.
We're gonna check it out. We're gonna check it out.
I have it pulled up already. Sonic 3. We got the tease at the end of Sonic 2: Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, 3-minute trailer. Wow.
It is. Yeah. Now I can't say that, oh my gosh, I love the first 2 movies or anything like that. I thought they were fine, for what they are. And obviously them listening to the fans about the redesign and things like that was a big reason people were invested in the first one. But now after the tease of Shadow the Hedgehog, we finally get Sonic the Hedgehog 3 where we know Shadow will be in it. Voiced by Keanu Reeves.
And I liked the first one a lot. The second one was fine. I watched it once. I don't really remember much about it. There was a lot of human stuff in there.
Too much human shit. That stupid wedding thing was just like a retarded plot device. Didn't need to happen. Wipe all those people out of the movie. Stop putting the human element in the movie, and it'll be way better.
Yeah.
And Knuckles show sucks, by the way, because it's all about humans. So.
Yep, we don't care about humans.
Here we go.
Sonic, you finally found your family.
Trapkeeper!
I know it hasn't always been easy, but you didn't change who you are in here.
Yeah, in my lungs.
Or your heart.
There's been a high-level security breach. And we need Team Sonic's immediate assistance. Project Shadow is far beyond anything we've ever encountered.
Shadow's story began a lot like your Sonic. But where you found family and friends, Sonic, Shadow found only pain and loss.
All right, we got a rogue alien on the loose. How do we find it?
Start with the giant fireball?
I love it. Let's start with a giant
Why
fireball.
does this look so damn good? This looks good. It's like fucking Mission Impossible.
Like superhero landing. It's basically the Avengers team up.
This is so good. I love this. I love the tone. I love everything that they're going for right now.
He is much more impressive than the hedgehog I fought previously.
Dude, I'm standing right here.
You're a colorful bunch.
We don't want to fight you.
Actually, Sonic, I would like to fight.
Knuckles, no! My turn. Can we just talk about this? He's too powerful. Sonic! I can't believe I'm saying this, but we need you-know-who.
This is a bad idea.
When has that ever stopped me?
Doctor,
We're visitors.
this is sad, Robotnik, even for you.
We need your help.
On one condition. What? Do this! If I can't rule the world, I might as well save it! I need room.
Sir, I don't have the proper materials.
Found some.
When we're done, there won't be anything left.
Hey, no cheat codes! What did you do?
What I had to.
This looks really freaking good. And
Welcome home, my boy.
It's impossible.
Is it?
It couldn't be.
Couldn't it? Are you? In the saggy flesh.
dude, like, first of all, there's little human element to the story, which is exactly what it needs to get away from the criticisms of 2. And it's just like, it gives it this kind of like bigger than life feel. It takes itself seriously enough, but not too seriously. It still brings it back to reality of like what it is, even though they're kind of overselling the seriousness of it and the tone. They're able to bring it back and blend the cheesiness of what we are watching. You know what I mean? So I think it works. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and especially now that you got like these 3 all kind of like working together, whatever, you have to put like this super crazy threat, which is now Shadow, and make it feel like Shadow can just literally fucking destroy them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really solid trailer.
It really is. I think this looks really good, and the Sonic movies have done fairly well.
Compared to their budget, yes.
Yeah, I want to say they've done like between like 4 and 500 million, both of them, if I'm not mistaken, worldwide. And again, it's all about budget. So you would be hearing us, first of all, you wouldn't be hearing us talking about a Sonic movie if they had the Marvel budgets. You wouldn't hear it because they would never have been greenlit for a second movie. Now, if you go all the way back to the first Sonic movie, if you remember, that first kind of trailer came out. The design of Sonic was absolutely horrendous. It was terrible. It was pathetic. And there was a massive amount of outrage. And they did exactly what you should always do. You should listen to the fans. Doesn't mean you do exactly what the fans are saying, but the fans' criticisms are always coming from a genuine place because they are fans. They know this stuff. So they listen to the criticism of the fans, and they completely redesigned Sonic to make Sonic feel like Sonic and not this weird version of, I don't know what the hell they were going for with that redesign, but that gave a lot of confidence to the fan base when they were willing to listen. And then the movie came out. It was a good movie. It was fine. It was good. You know, it wasn't like it was one of the greatest things ever, but that's not what people are looking for. People are just looking for something that honors the source material and the character. That's what the first Sonic movie did. Then you got the second one that was another big success based on the budget. And now here we are with the third one, and people are really looking forward to it. This is a win. This is a win.
Yeah, these budgets are like $80-90 million, which is that should be where the budgets are for these big animated movies. We should not be like, the standard should not be these Pixar movies that, you know, get up to $200 million, which is just fucking insane. When you can make the Despicable Me and the Minions movies for 70, 80, 90, when you can make the Super Mario Brothers one for 90 or $100 million, when you can make the Sonic movies for $90 million, you know, obviously these aren't all animated. There's a lot of, it's in the real world. You just have some animated characters in them. But you just can't let these budgets get out of control for the type of movies that they are.
And you've got Keanu Reeves in this one, which is obviously that's always going to give fans a reason to want to support it because he's such a loved actor in Hollywood. I would say Keanu might be one of the most like genuinely just popular people in terms of like, he's not Tom Cruise, but he's a pretty big star, and he's one of the few really good guys in Hollywood.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like he's really ever been in any controversies. The only stories you hear about him are like good things and positive things about how he treats the cast and crew, or cool things from behind the scenes. Hasn't fucking raped anybody or killed anybody, so that's like a plus for Hollywood. That already puts you top tier, you know?
I heard that. But yeah, man, that was a good trailer, so I'm excited about it. So good job on them. They're continuing to do a good job and making the fans of Sonic happy, which is a rarity these days in Hollywood.
Nick Hammerschmidt for 10. You guys gonna react to the Sonic 3 trailer? We just did.
We read your mind.
Yeah, we just did. You got a Zootopia picture. You probably just wanted it for some furry thing. But thank you, Nick. I agree with Jay. Hashtag free Jay. Yeah, free drunk 3PO.
Yeah, just go over to his Twitter account and retweet that tweet. And just respectfully ask Team YouTube to look into it. That's all you can do right here. This tweet, just retweet it, tag Team YouTube, and just say, hey, can you please just take a look at this? Just like I said right here. There's no sense in telling YouTube they're retarded and all of that. Or, oh, you
just
like,
already submitted the appeal. So we're just he's waiting on the appeal. Once that comes back, then we can, if that's not good, we can definitely go back to asking for them to look at it.
I'm very, very confident that this gets resolved. As long as a human looks at it, I'm very confident this gets resolved. We've seen this a few times with the. There's just something with the bots that run YouTube that they flag this reused content thing, and it's a lot of mistakes have been made on that one. So
yeah, it's actually like fairly common. We've had several people like in this YouTube space get hit with that reused content tag. It's not like a terms of service or violations like that. It's reused content. And I think it's gotten more aggressive in the past 2 years, probably because the prevalence of clip channels, of people clipping big time streamers, YouTubers or whatever. I think that's probably why it seems more aggressive over the past couple years, but almost always it gets resolved fairly quickly. So
yep,
we'll see if that happens or not.
Yep.
It might just be that Drunk 3PO is so powerful and so influential that they just wanted to silence him. Maybe that is it, Jeremy.
He is the best of us.
It might be. Golden Nuggets for 2. My favorite homosexuals here. I agree with Jeremy, a homosexual. Gary's Beard Dingleberries for 5. I'm not satisfied with your answers to my last 2 super chats. I want my money back. It's my money. Give me back my money. It is mine. Give me back it.
Give me back my money.
I don't remember what your last ones were. Sorry. Taker for 2. Nintendo announced a game called Date Everything. Sounds like a Deadpool game. Aberjam UK for 2. R.I.P. Bird of Prey 5, a wonderful friend and YouTuber. Did Bird of Prey 5 pass away?
Really?
It's very sad to hear. I know that I know he's been struggling obviously for a while, but
Yeah, I did not know that.
I didn't hear that until you're telling me this for the first time right now. But yeah, that's very sad. R.I.P. Bird of Prey.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry to hear that.
George Ramirez from Puerto Rico for sup. He says sup J Prime and Ryan. Crazy the whole Zuckerberg thing. How they censored COVID, 100 laptop scandal. If Mark joins Trump, it would be nuts. Hugs. Yeah, it's always tough to know if like Mark Zuckerberg is actually like regretful of some of these things, or maybe he's just seen the tide turning or whatever. It's always tough to kind of mind read someone's intentions behind saying what they said. But I think the story in itself is good that it's out there. Mo Zamboni for 2. I Am Legend had my wife ugly crying. Brutal scene. Yeah, that is tough. The dog scene.
Yep,
One
absolutely.
of Will Smith's best movies.
It's up there. What is Will Smith's best movie? It's a good question. What is Will Smith's best movie?
Obviously, it's Wild Wild West.
Is it Independence Day?
I don't know. Like Independence Day to me is much more than just a Will Smith movie, if that makes sense.
It does make
like,
sense.
You know, like obviously he's a massive part of it, but that is much more of a, I feel like, ensemble movie than some of Will Smith's other movies.
I do agree with that. I still think it does qualify as a Will Smith movie, but just not as heavily as a Will Smith movie as a lot of his others. So you're 100% right about that. I'm still gonna have to go. And yeah, I think Independence Day is. So my memories of Independence Day, it's one of the like first kind of blockbuster moments that I experienced like as I got older. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't old enough to remember. Like I didn't go to the theaters to watch the original Star Wars movies. You know what I mean? You know, obviously Phantom Menace and all that. Yeah, but like Independence Day, no one was expecting it. Like, and it was like a line around the theater just to watch Independence Day. It was crazy. It was really, really cool. So.
I will say the most underrated Will Smith movie, and that is I, Robot. That is the most.
You think that's underrated?
Yes, I think so.
I don't know if it's. I mean, it. Everybody knows what iRobot is, and I don't feel like.
I don't think so. I think some maybe people around your age do. I know for me when I watch it, because I'm younger than you. I feel like that's one that people barely ever talk about. And I think one, it's a really interesting movie, especially in current day where like AIs progress to like insane levels and things like this, and this inherent distrust that some people had of that artificial intelligence and everything. I think iRobot's amazing. I don't think people bring it up enough.
That's fair. I mean, it's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. Yeah, for me, it's pretty prominent, you know, when it came out and everything. But could be, you know, a generational thing. So. Because I'm an old man. Not as old as Gary, but who is? You know, who is?
Yeah. Like, iRobot made $348 million at the box office, right? It wasn't like this big smash hit or anything.
Well, hold on. What did Independence Day make? I mean, for that time period, I feel like 348 million was pretty. That's a pretty good haul for then.
On a $100 million budget. Let's see, Independence Day.
I mean, Independence Day wasn't like a $1 billion movie. I know that, but I'm sure it did very well.
Nah. Yeah, it wasn't anything like that. It made like 700. It made $800 million. Shut the fuck up, Jimmy.
Again, though, but it didn't make $1 billion.
No, but it's in 1996. There were three movies in the 90s that crossed $1 billion at the box office. Titanic, Jurassic Park, and I think Phantom Menace qualified on a subsequent re-release. So technically, it was $1 billion movie that released in the 90s.
Yeah,
so, like $1 billion movies were not a thing in the 90s.
Yeah, but my point being is $358 million is still a lot. It's not 800, but 358 million at that point in time is, by today's standards, would be like $700 or $800 million movie.
Yeah, so it had a $100 million budget.
So if something comes out, so if something comes out today and makes $800 million, you're gonna be like, holy shit, that did really fucking well. Maybe, so 358 million back then is still that's still a good haul, is all I'm saying. And I'm right about that. Go fuck yourself.
Like Independence Day didn't make that much money. Now I'm interested in some other Ones.
I Am Legend didn't do great at the box office.
Like
it did fine.
Like Men in Black, which was released in the 90s, made almost $600 million worldwide. So like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, motherfucker. That's what I'm saying. So $358 million is a good haul for back then. It's not like the movie was like fucking, Tom Cruise. What was that? Tom Cruise, Edge of Tomorrow. It's not like that.
I'm not trying to sit there telling you it's a flop, but I'm telling you that it was not some massive big budget blockbuster movie for Will Smith. Not nearly as many people went to see it as went to see a lot of his other movies. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, look at the list of fucking Will Smith movies in the 90s, okay? Where does iRobot rank?
iRobot released in like 2005.
So that's what I'm saying.
Released in 2005, Jeremy, not in the 90s.
Okay, then look at Will Smith's from 90 into the 2000s, and look at what his highest grossing movies were.
Let's see. Will Smith. Hold on.
G&G is over. You guys never watched this show, apparently. It's all we do is fucking fight.
By box office. Let's see if I can see this.
Somebody said, you look it up, Jeremy.
All right, let's see some of these things.
Pull the fucking screen up. Let's bring the audience in, Ryan. Come on. Fuck.
I gotta find an actual good thing here. What is this? The Root? I shouldn't have even started with the fucking Root. I should have known that was gonna be a retarded one. You know what, dude? You know what the top grossing Will Smith movie is of all time?
Hold on. Because the way you asked that question means I need to think outside of the box. Oh, Suicide Squad, right?
No.
What?
Aladdin.
Holy shit! I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, Aladdin.
Holy crap!
Will Smith box office.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Frank, here we go. Maybe this one. IMDb, please. IMDb.
All right.
So iRobot is his 10th highest grossing movie of all time.
Okay. So where's Bad Boys at? Bad Boys has got to be around there too.
I mean,
the first two. The first two.
Again, they were released so long. Let's see. I'll show you the list here.
I would have to imagine Bad Boys would be behind iRobot. I would think.
I don't think the Bad Boys movies actually performed spectacular at the box office throughout the course of their history.
Yeah.
Aladdin, Independence Day, Suicide Squad, Hancock,
which sucked,
Men in Black 3, Men in Black,
mm-hmm.
I Am Legend, Men in Black 2, Hitch, iRobot,
okay,
Pursuit of Happiness.
That was a good movie.
That was very obviously critically acclaimed in terms of his acting and everything like that.
Yeah.
But again, you wouldn't put that as oh, that one really did well at the box office or anything.
No, but people do talk about that one.
Right.
I
think they talk about that one a lot more than this one. They were released 2 years apart. Bad Boys 2. Enemy of the State. That was a good movie.
After Earth was
oof.
Dog shit. That to me, that's where his career started to that's where the Oscars moment started right there. All those years ago with After Earth and an M. Night Shyamalan movie. That's where that sealed his Oscars moment right there. I never watched Ali. Gemini Man. Never watched that shit.
Yeah.
Never watched Concussion.
Dude, this one this is a great fucking movie right here.
I watched that one time. I don't remember
movie.
it. I don't remember it. Is that got Matt Damon in it?
It does. Yes.
Yeah. So I remember watching it, but I don't remember it. So, but yeah, there you go. So, I don't disagree with Ryan's overall premise of it. I just think that iRobot did do fairly well for its day. It did. It did really well for its day. It was a pretty big hit. I'm old enough to remember.
It's a pretty big hit. It was a solid movie for them. $100 million budget, $350 million, which means they probably made about $75 to $50 million in profit on the movie.
Back then, though, that was that was a lot more money back then than it is today. $100 million budget was a lot more money then than it is today.
Yeah, but also like $100 million budget was a lot more. Like just the fact they spent that much money on it was a lot back then.
I agree. I agree.
Anyway, fuck you.
Fuck you too.
Fucking, you probably thought Independence. When I pulled up Independence, you probably thought that was going to be like at 400 million or something.
No, not then. I mean, I knew it was a bit. I knew it didn't make $1 billion, but I knew it was a. It was to find out because like that's the top.
The only reason I knew that answer about the fucking 90s was because I did a trivia night like 8 fucking years ago or something, and we won on that question. We won on that question because I did Titanic, and I was pretty sure Phantom Menace would qualify. So we did that and Phantom Menace, and Jurassic Park was that third one.
Yeah, the fact that you knew that random fact because you're like in the middle, you're like there are only 3 movies. It's like, and you name. I'm like, how the fuck do you know that?
Yeah, it's just always stuck in my head ever since then. So, Monty Guma for 20. New Star Wars news. Lizzo's been bullied into getting healthy thanks to the internet. Yeah, fat shaming actually works. It's worked for centuries. All right, so come on. Thank you, Monty Guma. The singing takes to Homeward Bound river scene embedded in my head. Yeah, it's great. And Sassy goes with that old dude for a while. Shouldn't trust him. You shouldn't trust a man who randomly takes you back to a cabin. He was cool. Amanda Unchained for 5. So today's my birthday, but unlike Beardo, I don't need a month to celebrate because I'm not a woman. You're the 199, and all of us iDots in chat. Well, happy birthday, Mando Unchained.
Hail to the iDots.
The old Homeward Bound was just narrated, and Sally Field played in the newer one when they had voices. Michael J. Fox was the voice of Chance. Yeah, dude, Michael J. Fox he killed in it.
Dude, Michael J. Fox, people don't understand. That dude would have been Tom Cruise.
About the same height.
He kind of was Tom Cruise there, you know, and then obviously he went through his situation there, but like he would be a big star today still, I think, if he never would have went through that.
Probably, yeah. B Chain for 2. Edgy the Hedgy gonna make $1 billion? I don't think so.
No.
But it does need to, you know. Spiros Bazikis for 5. I'm pretty Irie gets fired and KK gets his job. I'm all for it because total collapse, the result of where the IP gets sold off, is the only solution. I don't think that's going to happen, but that might as well intro us into the next topic of the day, which is actually Kathleen Kennedy. With the failure of the Acolyte, we now have an entirely new, different section of the fan base that is pissed at Kathleen Kennedy. And if you thought some of the stuff we said for the past 5-10 years has been bad, just look at some of the meltdowns we've seen on Twitter, actual death threats from fans of the Acolyte, the so-called good people in the Star Wars fandom against Kathleen Kennedy for canceling the show. But if you thought that the end was near, unfortunately, here are the new reports out there. Kathleen Kennedy reportedly remain at Lucasfilm president until at least Q5 of 2025.
Yes, Queen. Yes, Queen.
Several new Star Wars shows are in development that haven't been announced yet. Ooh, we're going to have more. Acolyte Season 2, clearly not one of them. You know, but there might be some more surprises out there. Now, the reason that this is even news right now is because if you remember back in 2021, when so many stories were out there about Kathleen Kennedy's already been fired, that, you know, Filoni went in there, put on a MAGA hat, and with his lisp, he said, "Your time's over, Kathleen. I'm taking over this bitch." Right? People thought that was actually happening. Now, obviously, those were always lies. They always were. They always had been. And she got like a 3-year contract extension. Now, the time for that to come around again would be October of this year. Kathleen Kennedy, she's like 71 years old. She's been there for a long time. Eventually, she will be ready to move on and retire or whatever. She ain't going to be fired. She never was going to be fired. That if that was going to happen, it could have happened a long, long time ago. But how long do you think she's going to stick around, Jeremy?
This is for the sports fans out there. This is Rob Parker saying that Tom Brady is finally over. Like, he's finally done. It's over. He needs to sail off into the sunset. Rob Parker predicted that for about 12 or 13 years. Tom Brady kept winning Super Bowls after Super Bowl. And eventually, you know what? I guess he was kind of right. He wasn't totally right. But the point being is that if you predict this for long enough, eventually, yeah, you're going to be right when she does retire. She's not getting fired. That I can confidently say that under no circumstances is Kathleen Kennedy going to be fired from Lucasfilm. Period. That is something that everybody needs to get out of their mind, and we've been saying that for years. But if you believe that she's going to get fired at this point, you are absolutely out of your mind. Not happening. I think she's going to stay there till she's 75.
75, huh?
I think 75 is the sweet spot.
You know, we did get that report from a while ago that's basically like, hey, she's kind of ready to be done, but she doesn't want to go out like this, right? She wants to go out on a win, on a positive for Star Wars. I don't know what that's going to be defined as. The Mandalorian and Grogu movie, I don't think that releases until 2026, right? Summer of 2026. So that would be a while to have to wait. I don't have any belief that that's going to be some mega smash hit, but even if it does reasonably well, maybe that's a way that she can just kind of exit. You know, the only things coming out between now and Q2 of 2025 are Skeleton Crew and Andor. Andor Season 2 does come out probably in the first half of 2025. But, yeah, it's going to be whenever she wants to go. That's just the truth.
I see Zeke the White says no, she's looking for a win, and it may come after Andor Season 2. Andor Season 2 is not going to be the win that has been reported that Kathleen Kennedy is looking for. A win from a small segment of the fandom and critically acclaimed is not a win for Star Wars. A win is Mandalorian Season 1. That would be considered a win. That was a show that transcended the fandom and hit the pop culture. That would be considered a win. Andor Season 2 cannot hit that level. It just doesn't have the ability based on the characters and even looking at how much people loved it, it just wasn't that successful in terms of like viewership and stuff like that. She needs another Mando Season 1 is what she needs.
You know, the difference between Andor and like some of these other things was interest in Andor continued to grow like throughout its release and then even after. Andor was the most streamed Star Wars show. Like I think the year it released and potentially the year after, depending on what time frame it was. So there was a lot of people that ended up picking it up and giving it a try even after it was over because of that good word of mouth. I don't know if it can have this transcendent. Is it going to hit like 1 billion minutes watched on streaming, that type of threshold? I don't know. I don't think so. But if it does do that, then maybe you could see that as a big win for them. But that I agree with you in principle, though. I don't think that's the type of win she's probably looking to go out on.
Yeah.
But if it's not that, she's going to have to wait a while.
That's why I'm throwing like 75 out there. I don't know when she turns 70. You said she's 71 now. I don't know when she turns 72.
I think so.
Sadly, we have to look up her birth date. But yeah, I would give it another 3.5 years for her.
God, I don't care about Kick Kennedy. Jesus, fuck. So the problem is Robert Kennedy has a daughter or something named Kathleen Kennedy. And so now she's taken over the news cycle because reportedly she's dating Ben Affleck or some bullshit. Fuck you. She's 71. Yeah, she's 71. Her birthday's in June.
Okay. So, so she's going to be there for a while longer, and she's only going to leave on her terms. And anybody telling you differently is they're just not being truthful. She's not getting fired. It's not happening.
I have seen a lot of people bringing up this. Remember this chart? Let's see if I can find an unedited version of the chart. I don't think I can. Like this chart, dude, in 2020, when she got up there, they like announced Disney Plus, and it's like the Acolyte. Like, obviously, Willow, 1 season, got canceled and removed from Disney Plus. Acolyte, total failure. Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny, biggest flop they've ever seen. Obi-Wan started with so much interest and completely fell off after people realized what the fuck it was. Andor, one of the only successes. Ahsoka, other than the Acolyte, it's the second lowest viewership on Disney Plus, which a lot of people forget about. It had the worst season finale in terms of viewership. People drop off. It was the worst, other than Acolyte. She probably shouldn't have got a second season if Dave Filoni queer ass wasn't there. Rangers of the New Republic, Gina Carano gets fired. That gets canceled. Rogue Squadron and Patty Jenkins. A Droid Story. Don't even know what the fuck's going on with that. The Lando movie, which got scrapped from a movie, and the gay black dude who was supposed to direct it got really pissed at Disney, and now it's in purgatory. Developmental hell. This over here was that Child of Blood and Bone or whatever that stupid show was that they lost the rights to. It's just a fucking complete and total
It's
mess.
nothing here was a success. Nothing.
Well, like
Even
you talked
Mando
about
season
Mandalorian.
3.
You
Okay.
talked about Mando, you know. So
Well,
this is before Mandalorian actually came
So
out.
that was before it came out. Okay, so you had season 1 and 2 that were successes, but then 3 just completely fell off a fucking cliff. And I'm still gonna say it. So outside of the Acolyte, Obi-Wan Kenobi's still the worst thing I've seen from Disney Star Wars. Now again, I haven't seen it all. I haven't seen a lot of it. But yeah, outside of the Acolyte, because Acolyte is truly the worst thing. Like, you can't even compare. Like, it's fucking horrible. But outside of that, Obi-Wan Kenobi's the worst thing. And it did the most damage to Star Wars, I think.
Yeah, I think Obi-Wan was more damaging to like a fan base, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way that when you look at Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, I think there are legitimate arguments that Rise of Skywalker is a worse movie. I think it is. Like, if you just look at it as a straight up movie,
I think
itself,
it is.
I think it's a worse movie than Last Jedi. But when you look at what it does to certain characters and what it does to the future of the franchise and things like that, Last Jedi was more damaging than Rise of Skywalker was. So that's kind of the way I think about those things. Acolyte is the most embarrassing, incompetent thing that they've ever put out. It doesn't do as much damage as some other things, but just
Like
from
Obi-Wan.
this is shit level.
Yeah. But she's still there, and she's not going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. So just get settled in. You're going to have more bad Star Wars, and we've got more bad Star Wars to talk about on this episode because Lucasfilm can't get out of their own way. My goodness, identity politics. Remember when remember the Star Wars Outlaws when we did that trailer reaction? People are still sharing that as like evidence that I'm a toxic, racist, sexist, all that, I mean,
It was a great reaction, but yeah.
breaking news. I stand by it. Diversity. That's all they care about. When diversity is the central focus of your project, then it just shows that you're not actually worried about quality. You're not worried about storytelling. You're not worried about doing like all you care about is the DEI points you get from it. That's the red flag. When that is the central focus, you're going to have problems.
Slayer 96 defers Hail 199 praise Ra. My movie is under works and will upload the URL when I done working on 420 related jokes and some raunchy shits animation. Slayer 96 defers. We've been hearing about this for a long time, buddy. So you got to deliver. All right. You've been talking about your goody bud comedy for a long time. All right. People are hyped. People are excited. A lot of pressure on you, dude. Crazy Clown Town for 5. Hey, shout out to my mom who's going into surgery to get her second brain aneurysm today. That's scary, man. That's scary.
That's very scary.
Prayers to your mom.
Absolutely.
Cristiano Atunes. Have you seen
How it should have ended?
Oh, How It Should Have Ended. Yoda cancels the Acolyte is Glorious. I have not seen it. Haven't seen it.
Someone tagged me the other day and I haven't watched it, but I will.
Rolando A. Ramirez for 5. I hope I hear Keanu say Chaos Control. We'll see. Yeah, the fact that Keanu's in that is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Mad Max for $20. Sorry, Jeremy. That's supposed to be show, not shoes. Thanks to you both for giving your voice and opinions for the chat and the fans.
That's
Thanks, Mad
funny.
Max.
Hey, thanks, brother.
That makes more sense. It's more sense. Nick Hammerschmidt for 10. Promise I'm not a furry, Ryan. Just same name as character and also a ginger. But if it makes you feel better, if I ever go down that road, you could put me down like Old Yeller. I'll hold you to it. We have the evidence right here. Take you up to Canada and I'll be fine. Bill TMNT for 2. Hey, D-Day Pride post, an RKBia post, and Geeks and Gamers. Thanks. Donald J. Mazza for 10. It's a travesty that Drunk 3PO, J Drunk 3PO. Have you heard of this guy? He's a great guy, but it's a travesty. He's been cut off from YouTube and needs to be fixed. Everyone's saying it.
Everyone's saying it.
Everyone's saying it. Tom Mazza Cruz for 199. Through the power of Xenu, we will restore Drunk 3PO. Peace Sword of Destruction for 199. I hate iRobot. They butchered Asimov's story. I didn't read whatever shit it was adapted from or watch whatever shit it was adapted from. I just like the movie.
Hey, when is the Christopher Reeve movie coming out? Do you know?
September.
Release date? Man, that trailer. That was a good trailer.
Everyone was crying in the chat when we reacted to
I know.
that.
I watched you and Gary. Listen, if you're a YouTuber, don't cry on stream ever. ever. All right,
Good.
not good.
If you're a man, at least. If you're a woman, you could probably get a bunch of fucking sympathy money out of it, so go for it. But yeah, if you're a dude, don't fucking do it. Cry in your own time. Don't cry in front of people. All right. Red Mage for 20. Most of the movies back in the 90s, if a movie made 100 mil, it was usually considered a success with a few exceptions. Well, it all depends on the budget, right? Like take Waterworld, for instance. What was the Waterworld budget?
That was an enormous budget for the time. So I think that did lose money, right?
Oh, yeah. It was actually, for a long time, it was like one of the biggest flops in history.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I remember that. It was famously one of the biggest flops ever.
That is literally a perfect example. I'm glad I looked it up because the budget was $175 million and it grossed a total of $264 million worldwide. So, you know, it all depends on what the budget was. Sir Paladin Thunder Cake for 5 in the gaming discourse. In the gaming Discord, I clipped a Star Wars Outlaws highlight where Star Wars Theory eviscerates 4 to 5 speeders in slow-mo. She's stronger than Rey, confirmed. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a video on Star Wars Outlaws today. Some of the clips are absolutely horrendous.
So I've watched a couple people's reviews of Star Wars Outlaws, and obviously there are some massive technical issues with the game, but structurally with the game, there's also a lot of problems. What we're hearing is, you know, there are stealth portions of the game, but it was kind of felt like, hey, you could do a stealth mission, and if you wanted to just take on a bunch of enemies, you could just fight those guys. But if you do stealth, you can avoid them, whatever. But there's also a lot of times where you have to do stealth. Like, you cannot get caught, you cannot let alarm get set off, all these things. And the game's really not equipped for how much stealth there is. They didn't put enough into making sure you could do all these things via stealth. So that's an issue. The weapon that you have, the one blaster that does have a couple different firing options and upgrade and things like that. The problem with that is there are a bunch of other weapons you can pick up, but as soon as you do anything, as soon as you go to slide, as soon as you open a door, as soon as you go to the next thing, you'll lose
Your mic's fucked.
Fucking blaster.
Your mic is fucked.
For how long?
It's been kind of skipping in. I was hoping it would fix itself, but yeah, it was just like it's like you're moving away from it, moving back to it.
All right,
I don't know why.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Watch this.
You want to go Harrison Ford? I don't care.
Yeah, if I sound like shit, just watch this. This is a multi-$100 million game.
Yeah, he wouldn't. But he told me you could mod my speeder.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I've got every part you could want. I mean, mag fins, aftermarket sensors, booster coils.
How about a hydro repulsor?
Oh my god. This looks so bad, dude.
That's rough, man.
What is wrong with them? How would they release this at full price? Holy shit.
Make sure to give us $120 to get that Lando mission.
I thought it was 160, right? 120?
I think 110 or 120.
Holy
There might be
crap.
some other crazy thing out there like collectors, but like this is rough.
This is awful.
This looks like a game released in 2007.
Repulsor.
Oh. No.
The hair.
Just said every part I could want.
I mean, I could slap the repulsor on there now. That's no problem, but without some good Durasteel struts?
As bad as she is, the NPC's also like
He's horrible.
rendered.
He's horrible too. He's horrible.
Yeah. Not to mention
Jeez.
some of the problems we've seen. Here's some of the AI where so if they're like looking for you or whatever, you're getting this yellow question mark. They don't know where you are, but they're actively searching for you. And if you get spotted, they're obviously going to be alerted, unless it's this game, I suppose.
Pause. See, but what you don't, Ryan, you're usually good at context, and you left out the context. This is an actual recreation of Butler, Pennsylvania, and the Trump assassination moment right here. This is just a live recreation of it right here. That's all it is. So see, this is storytelling. There's depth to this that we are not giving them full credit for. Holy shit, this is bad.
Well, the next part is the actual recreation. Oh, they found her now. They got her. Spotted her.
Oh man, holy crap.
There are going to be a bug or two in every. There seems to be a lot of bugs for this game. This is another stealth portion. Let's watch this.
What?
It's like a million people spawned from that one dude.
One more time.
Yeah, look at that shit. Like the way they start walking out is the funniest. Oh no, I got busted. I got caught. What about this one? Again, trying to deal with stealth. It's rough when things like this happen. Fucking Han Solo outfit too.
Yep.
Kind of bothers me and pisses me off, but whatever. Just moonwalked across the entire stage and every single person is now coming for you. But truly, like, still at this point, one of the worst things about the game is like what they did to like the character herself. This is the model, Umberly Gonzalez, and she has been incredibly like positive and promoting it, and it seems like she's been great and very excited for all these things. They butchered this girl, this gorgeous girl, to make this character. It is fucking egregious what they did to her. Kind of fucking sad. But
yeah.
I don't know why there it is.
Twitter moves a little slow sometime, or X.
X moves a little slow.
Yeah. No, this is another kind of like a Kelly Marie Tran situation where they, you know, with what they did with Rose Tico and how they just intentionally just made her ugly and unlikable. And that's what they've done with this actress. It's just unbelievable. But it's Star Wars. It's Disney Star Wars. This is we have come to expect
of Disney,
this.
Star Wars, and Ubisoft.
100%.
Two bad things. Yes.
100%. But the lack of oversight that Lucasfilm puts into these projects is it speaks volumes to it. And like even like Battlefront, I liked Battlefront. I liked Battlefront 2015 and 2017. Now, I recognize their flaws. I recognize the first one didn't have a campaign. The second one's campaign really sucked, but I'm talking about the multiplayer. I enjoyed those games for what they were. And if you just look at the world that they created, that's what really I was drawn to the most, was that it did feel like Star Wars. There's just these, even if you eliminate the bugs from this game, which is a huge thing to eliminate from it, the game itself just does not look interesting. The main character doesn't look interesting at all, and it feels like a parody of Star Wars and not Star Wars. That's Lucasfilm for you right there.
There have been from some people, you know, reviewers I trust or whatever, the couple positives that I have heard about the game just to balance out some of the obviously terrible flaws in it. In terms of the worlds themselves, like the different planets you go to, they all do feel unique and different, and they have weather cycles. And at times, it does look good in the environment. But too often, there's just problems with the graphics. There's problems with frame rates dipping down to 20 to 30 frames per second on high-end graphics cards on PC. There are a lot of technical issues with the game. It should not have been released in its current state at all. The official release is not until Friday. So there are people playing it now. If they pre-ordered it and got the old bonus, those are the people that are playing right now. So, but it'll be open to everybody on the 30th.
Another piece of garbage from Lucasfilm and Ubisoft. Yes, to be fair, we want to make sure they get proper credit for that.
Yeah, 100%. Over on Rumble, shout out to the Rumble audience. John Getz, one more night of Bounty Hunter, then it's time to suffer with Outlaws for the viewership. Jeremy, you don't need to watch the direct. It's not like they'll show you Fortnite or Mario Kart.
Hey, or Titanfall 3, right?
Mm-hmm. Pat for 2. Sonic 2 Electric Boogaloo Sonic 3, I know Kung Fu. Big Show's Dead Daddy for 5. R.I.P. to Sid Udy, a.k.a. Psycho Sid Vicious. My favorite Sid moment was when Shockmaster flopped to the floor. After 10 seconds of silence, Sid started screaming, "I don't care who the hell you are."
Good old Sid Vicious. Psycho Sid. Sid Justice, R.I.P. One of the greats. He was one of the greats.
Vault 95 Survivor for $1. Beardo should stop worrying about his skinny legs and just play Fortnite instead.
I agree.
John Getz for 5. Didn't have an argument over the box office success of a 20-year-old movie on my G&G bingo card today.
What do you expect?
What did Wild Wild West do at the box office?
Pretty good.
It was like at what, 96 or something when that was released?
Yeah. Actually, where was that in the Will Smith?
I don't think it was that good.
Actually, yeah, you're right, actually, because it wasn't on that list, was it? It wasn't on that top 10 list.
Bro, it made $222 million.
Wow.
But the problem, $170 million budget.
Oof.
That is one of the biggest, like at that time, that was probably one of the most expensive movies ever made as well.
I remember that like being so hyped, and I never saw it. I never saw it in theaters or anything.
It wasn't good.
So,
it was
yeah.
weird. It was weird.
No, I saw it after the fact, but I'm saying like I didn't see it when it, because it just, I don't know what it was about it, but it was talked about like crazy.
Vault 95 Survivor. Gemini Man was an excellent story idea, but put together like dog shit. And the whammon of power in the movie nailed its coffin shut. Bronzonite for $1. Jeremy, you're correct. The DEI priority motivation ahead of its quality and storytelling and production is antithesis to a good product. May the Crocs be with you. Hail the 199.
Thank you.
Benzo for $1. Enemy of the State is the most underrated Will Smith movie. Enemy of the State is really good, actually, after seeing that on that list. John Getz for $5. I live in Butler, about 10 minutes from the Trump rally. Now it's a shithole, and the high school is known as Heroin High, but it doesn't look this bad. Keep my town name out of your fucking mouth. Let's see. Sir Paladin Thundercake. Oh, I said that already. Singing Tigs for $2. Ryan's correct. Garamy IQ 60 BC inbred. Thank you. Mad Max for $5. Can you two stop fighting? Can't we all just get along?
Fuck that. That's boring.
Taker for $2. 500 million in 96 is over $1 billion today. Yeah, back in 96. Jay Frazier for $5. Hail G&G. I Am Legend 2 is in development. Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan are set to star. The film will follow the alternative ending fans loved. I had heard, so there was a report about that like months ago, I think. I have no idea what level they're at. You know, whether it's just, hey, we're looking into this, or it's like, it's fucking happening.
Oh, Will Smith's one of these guys that like, it's that whole like kids today will never understand. They'll never understand how big Will Smith was. We've talked about this on the show before though, but Will Smith was massive. He was the biggest star in the world, and nobody was even close, to be fair. He was crushing on all fronts: music, movies, television. He was everywhere. They'll never understand it. Now all he's known as the guy that slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars now.
Stephen De Leon for $2. Michael J. Fox is goated on Scrubs. Demogenai for $2. KK will leave after the Ray movie, in my opinion. That's a long time from now, but yeah, it could be.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely do think she's probably committed to making sure that happens, you know? I do think that's like a big thing to her. NTR Uncle for $2. This is MAGA country. Kathy Rar. Dave Filoni. Dr. Lighthouse. Hey, Jeremy, if you're interested, I recommend looking at Star Wars Central, who's been trying to raise awareness regarding issues in SWTOR MMORPG. Star Wars The Old Republic story is vastly superior to anything that Disney has ever created or ever will create. The storyline, the lore behind some of those characters and those different storylines, the worlds, how you can interact with those worlds, it's fucking phenomenal. And I can't believe that SWTOR is still going on this many years later.
Power of Star Wars.
D's Webos for $5. Patty Jenkins wanted to make Rogue Squadron about her dad, a male, so KK killed the project. Maybe. Sir Paladin Thundercake for $5. I'm happy we're finally able to play as female Treant in Star Wars Outlaws, the ultimate inclusive character in Star Wars, despite Ents being from Lord of the Rings. Darth Gavel for $5. English or Spanish?
Huh?
English or Spanish?
In reference to what?
I speak English.
English.
Sex, Spanish. Flint AEA for 199. Superman, September 21st and 25th.
I'll be there.
Miller for 5. Jeremy, please tell me you've seen The Americans TV show. And if you haven't, then I recommend you get to it. Promise you won't be disappointed.
I have not.
I have seen a handful of episodes. I've never watched the full thing, though.
I've heard people talk about it, but I have not seen it.
Jason Yankovic. Both IGN and PC Gamer gave Star Wars Outlaws 7 out of 10. Considering how much they hyped it, even that is incredibly embarrassing.
Is there some kind of meme we walked into with this whole... I don't know. Everybody said they're doing the meme.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not hip to it.
We're not cool.
Yeah. A Money Wilson for 5. Watch Theory play Outlaws last night. He ripped it apart, and 2 people complained he wasn't playing the game correctly. LMAO. Good for him. Clive Griffiths for 2. Oh boy, she's even bugly now. It's out. Bad dialogue. Jason Yankovic for 2. Her face looks even worse than in the previews. Demongenai, the actress is hot too. They hate pretty women. She is hot. Super Secret Club for 2. Always remember, Ryan, keep scrolling up. Yeah, I fucking hate that. I said that last FNT. I fucking despise when someone is sharing, like when Garrett's sharing the screen and Gary is like, scroll up, Porter Black. And what he really means is scroll down. Like he wants the page to move up. I fucking hate it. I can't. It drives me crazy.
Look how accurate this meme is.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
This is so accurate. You sit there, you act
away.
Yeah. You're like, hurry the fuck up. Like I don't. Yeah, like I don't care. I don't care. Thinking it has any impact whatsoever.
Bro, people don't know loading screen. Fucking. How rough that used to be. M. Spencer, at least Star Wars chick isn't deaf and in a wheelchair. That's true. Very true. Small victories. Small victories for Star Wars fans. And with that, Jeremy, we're all caught up.
All caught up. Another one in the books.
Steven DeLeon, what's the theme tonight on TNME? Beardo's fat or scrawny legs?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. But yeah, we got Tuesday night's main event tonight. I'll be there. And we'll have to just see how the evening goes. So, Ryan, what about you? What positivity are you putting out there on the internet today?
I don't know. You know, I'm really embracing shorts, which is making people on TikTok not so happy. So I suppose I'll be putting out more of those. So that'll be fun.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great day. And make sure you check out the Geeks Gamers Clips channel where everything will be uploaded over there. And I'll start working on some videos for this channel so we can hit 400,000 subscribers. We need to make that happen. We'll celebrate 396.
Celebrate three fucking 96 again.
Yes.
Jeremy was so encouraged. He was like, come on, guys, get us there. Yeah, we did it.
And then it dropped below.
Like later on that day, we'd go below it.
All right, guys, have a good day. We'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.